The news day continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. The Bangko Sentral says the return of the El Nino phenomenon would have minimal impact on inflation. BSP Deputy Governor Francisco Daquila Jr. said that the central bank expects the El Nino's impact at about 13 basis points. However, Daquila admits that the Bangko Sentral has yet to include the lower than usual rainfall in its latest inflation forecast. The BSP slashed its inflation forecast for this year to 5.4% from the previous 5.5%. Daquila said the BSP has factored in wage adjustments at the historic levels of about 4.2%. Starting July 1, big banks will no longer be allowed to use loans to micro, small, and medium enterprises or MSMEs and large companies as alternative compliance with the reserve requirements. This was announced by the Bangko Sentral in a statement. However, the BSP extended the relief measure for smaller banks, but only until the loans are fully paid, but not later than end of December 2025. The relief measure has been extended 3 times since it was implemented in April 2020. The central bank says the unwinding of the relief measure is set to coincide with a reduction in the reserve requirement ratios or RRR by June 30. They say this move aims to facilitate the transition, support the bank's continued compliance with the reserve requirements, and manage friction costs related to the policy adjustment. The BSP is set to cut the RRR for universal and commercial banks and non-bank financial institutions with quasi-banking functions by 250 basis points to 9.5% by June 30. The Commission on Audit has flagged Liloan Cebu LGU's purchase of lechon amounting to over 1 million pesos. According to COA's 2022 annual audit report, the Liloan municipal government has purchased 207 pieces of lechon for several events including religious activities and get-togethers. The state auditor noted that these purchases violated the prohibition on spending of government funds for religious or private purposes. The agency thus recommended the LGU to stop from incurring lechon expenses. Auditor stated that Liloan Mayor Alju Frasco has since instructed offices to prohibit granting requests for lechon in any activity. Meanwhile, COA also found that some cash and fund remained unutilized in the town by the end of 2022, while cash advances totaling over 500,000 were still unliquidated. COA also said that the municipality hired consultants without going through the proper procurement processes. Meanwhile, Frasco clarified in a statement that the lechon purchases were made over time and was made in support of official activities. He added that these, quote, spurious allegations are a poor attempt to shake his constituents' trust in their leaders. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. still watching One News Now. I'm Jaco Castro. The Finance Department is reviewing the list of VAT exemptions in a bid to meet raised revenue targets this year. During a forum on Wednesday, Finance Secretary Benjamin Diokno noted that the government can no longer afford to include additional exemptions in the country's VAT system. This as some lawmakers push for more discounts for senior citizens. Diokno said the department will release the list of items that are no longer VAT exempt by year end.
We have the highest VAT rate, yet compared with the ASEAN peers at 12%, our VAT efficiency is only 40%. So that means there's still some room for improvement. This revenue loss will be higher if we introduce more exemptions to the VAT system. So this means the government cannot afford to lose additional revenues.
Diokno also defended this move, saying that it's better to increase consumption-based taxes like VAT instead of hiking the income tax.
Consumption-based taxes such as VAT are the preferred revenue source of advanced and emerging economies. Consumption taxes are more progressive. As income increases, households tend to spend a smaller proportion of their income on goods and services from the informal sector, which are typically not deductible.
Taiwan considers allowing Filipino workers to apply for permanent residency. Taiwanese Foreign Minister Joseph Wu said discussions on the matter are already underway. If approved, OFWs will be allowed to stay for a longer period of time in the country. Wu notes that Filipino workers have become an integral part of the Taiwanese society. Meanwhile, Taipei has yet to decide on the extension of visa exemption program, which ends this month. Wu said it would be better if the Philippines reciprocates the initiative for Taiwanese people. Even after the recent noontime buzz, TV5 and ABS-CBN will continue with their content partnership. The two networks signed a fresh 5-year deal which allows the Kapatid Network to continue airing ABS-CBN shows. These include prime-time teleseries like FPJ's Batang Quiapo and Dirty Linen. MediaQuest Chairman Manny Pangilinan and ABS-CBN Chairman Mark Lopez were present to formalize the extended content agreement. TV5 said there's a lot to watch out for in this extended 5-year deal.
We're very happy to sign this new agreement for the next 5 years. I think it's a partnership which we've been very happy with, and I think there are a lot of opportunities that we can do together.
So, but that's only the tip of the iceberg, because we're also working with ABS-CBN for mga co-prod for the afternoon, and just continue to develop really good content together.
And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Jaco Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News. All sides all the time.